Welcome back to Beyond the Labels, a space where we tell the truth about healing without performing for approval. I am Ann Alexis, and I guide high achievers, seekers, and spiritualists back into emotional safety, self trust, and real alignment. And today I'm recording from my Healing Homestead, a space I'm building for deep restoration, nervous system safety, and the kind of healing you can actually feel in your body. Today we're talking about mother wounds. Not to villainize mothers, not to rewrite history, but to name what happens when the person who was supposed to be your first safe place couldn't or didn't offer consistent emotional safety. Some people don't miss their mothers. They miss what a mother is supposed to feel like. They miss softness. They miss being chosen without earning it. They miss being protected without having to explain why. They miss being held without being managed. And if you've tried to name that pain, you may have been told, but she did her best. But she had it so hard. But she loved you, though. All of that can be true, and you can still have a wound. So, what a mother wound really is, isn't a label you put on your mother, it's a name for an imprint in your nervous system. It's what happens when your early attachment taught you things like love is conditional, needs are inconvenient, emotions are unsafe, closeness comes with control. You have to perform to be chosen. Sometimes the mother wound is obvious, like neglect, cruelty, instability, and sometimes it's subtle, like a mother who was physically present but emotionally unavailable, anxious, self sacrificing, critical, or overwhelmed. A mother can be loving and still not be safe. Today's homestead metaphor is the first soil you grew in. On the homestead, the first thing I pay attention to is soil, because soil determines what can and cannot take root. Your mother, your first caregiver, was part of the soil you grew in. If the soil was depleted, unpredictable, or harsh, you didn't grow wrong. You grew in a system that required adaptation. And those adaptations can become adult patterns that look like overgiving, overfunctioning, perfectionism, hyperindependence, or choosing partners who feel familiar but unsafe. There are 5 ways that mother wounds can show up in adult life. We're going to introduce them now. The first is when you struggle to receive compliments, support, softness. It feels suspicious. Why you doing that? Why you saying that? 2, you confuse love with criticism. You're drawn to people who, quote unquote, help by correcting you. 3, you feel responsible for other people's emotions. You manage the room before you even enter it. 4, you don't trust your own needs. You second guess what you want until you're absolutely numb. And 5, you fear being too much. So you shrink, you edit, you over explain because you learned that love had rules. Here's the truth about she did her best. I want to say this carefully. Honoring what your mother survived doesn't require you to minimize what you lived. Let me hit it. Let me hit you one more time with it. Honoring what your mother survived doesn't require you to minimize what you lived. Compassion does not cancel out accountability. And healing doesn't require you to hate her. It requires you to stop abandoning yourself to protect the story. Here are 3 questions to start your healing. Let's jumpstart it. Try these questions not in your head, but in your body, right? Get down to the somatics. Question number 1. What did I learn I had to do to be loved? What did I learn I had to do to be loved? Question number 2. What did I learn I was not allowed to need? What did I learn I was not allowed to need? And 3, where do I still mother everyone else, but not myself? Where do I still mother everyone else, but not myself? These questions will reveal the pattern. And once you can see the pattern, you can interrupt it. So let's do a 60-second practice. Mother yourself back. Start by inhaling slowly. And then exhale longer than you inhaled. Place a hand on your chest or your belly, whichever calls to you, and say, I am allowed to need. I am allowed to receive. I am allowed to be held without earning it. I choose to be loyal to myself. Now ask, what would tenderness look like today without performance? And then choose one small act from this list or a list that you create in your mind. Water your body, feed yourself something real, rest without explaining, say no without guilt, speak to yourself like someone you love. You know, this session wouldn't be complete without offering some boundary language because we can't just roll up into the situation just changing things and winging it. We need a little something to work from, a little bit of framework, a little bit of template. That way we don't feel so afraid, so scattered. A plan can be grounding. So here's some boundary language if your mother relationship is complicated. Try some of these. I'm not available for criticism. I'm not discussing that part of my life. I'm going to take space and I'll reach out when I'm ready. I'm focusing on what supports my nervous system. I love you, and I'm not available for that dynamic. You want to use a soft voice, but you want the boundary to be firm. Firmness doesn't come from yelling or getting loud or posturing or puffing up. It comes from following through with what you said. I said what I said. So, if this episode touched something tender, I want you to know you're not ungrateful for wanting softness. You're not disloyal for naming what hurts. And you're allowed to heal without blaming and without bypassing. If you're ready to go deeper, start with my alignment assessment. And from there, you'll receive your personalized healing blueprint. So you're not guessing what you need or trying to heal with a generic advice. The link is in the description. And if you want to talk it through with me, you can also book a consultation for 15 minutes, also linked below. So until next time, may you stop earning love. May you start receiving it.